Your court television news starting now.
Good afternoon, everybody. And yes, welcome to pretty much, I would call it a late breaking kind of, because it is kind of the afternoon. And this already just happened, but just about maybe, 25, 30 minutes ago, literally, this just finished. And yes, as the thumbnail to this title of this video said, the Trina Golden court case trial, August 31st, as promised by NJCourts. I have it for you. And I got a surprise. You ready? Should I wait? We got enough people in here? Should I make you guys cash at me a bunch of donations before I release the information like some of my other adversaries like to do? Nah, I won't, because I love you guys. Here's the surprise. Not only do I have it in audio form, we've got it in video. Yes, that is correct. Your boy here, NJCourts, spent all morning looking for this jewel, and I'll tell you, it was a hard one to find, all right? Not easy. Not easy peasy. But I got it. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait, just a few minutes. Let's let this notification kick out, because it's a good 30 minutes, and it's very interesting. Now, I'll tell you right now, actually, it's just easier, honestly, it's just to play it, and then we can discuss afterwards, because pretty much towards the end, the judge and the prosecutor does a good job of pretty much making sure all the dates are pretty much handled, and you're going to hear as far as what each date means, what's going to be happening. Best way to just explain everything is just play the video, and then we can talk afterwards, all right? So, what up, everybody? Kind of say what up to everybody as we're waiting for people to come in. So first off, I want to thank all the members of the jury. Yes, I see you guys. As a matter of fact, let me get you all set up on my other phone, so that way I'm up to date with chat. I can see chat here on my computer. What up, Candy Kiss? What up, Squishy Socks? What up, Steph? Dawson in the house. Oh, as a matter of fact, everybody welcome the newest member of our mod squad / bailiffs, Dawson. If you didn't notice, Dawson's got a little wrenchy wrench. All right. So, welcome our newest mod, Dawson. Welcome, Dawson. Welcome to my other mods. What up, Savage Dabs? What up, Darlene Valenzuela? Hey, and I love you. Thank you so much for that great comment. What up, Hobby Hater? What up, Super Roofer? Hey, yo. Super Roofer was, I think, oh no, Steph was first in the house. Then Sharpshooters on Power Scooters. What up? Then my boy, Super Roofer, technically first mod in the house. So, thank you for being on time, Mr. Super Roofer. What up, Dots? Julia, Lisa Lynn, all the OGs, John Jacobs. Continued. Well, you want to make a bet now? How much? Now, I'm not going to bet against you, because you're probably right. What up, Justin T? What up? I got a boat, mother effer. I'm on a boat. What up, Sammy Joe? What up, Dizzy Dimensions? All right. I see everybody coming in. Black Widow channel, how are you, my friend? Nick Winner, what's up? All right. Made it down. Brandy J, hello. Made it down. I think we made it down the line. So welcome to everybody. Welcome to all the OGs. Welcome to all the viewers. Welcome to all the members of the jury. Welcome to all the haters. Welcome to all my people that are kind of, on the border, on the fence. And I see you guys up there. Welcome. One day you guys can come down and say hi. We don't bite, I promise. All right. You guys ready to get this kicked off? Like I said, easiest way is just to get this played through. As soon as it's done, we can have a little discussion in the chat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I was planning on doing a live today, because I knew I was going to have to give some type of update. It was either going to be like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what I heard. But boy, was I excited that I was able to find this. And yes, we've got the whole hearing from today. Now, this was supposed to kick off at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. This is in Kansas, but they were running behind. They were running quite a bit behind, almost about an hour behind. So the actual hearing did not kick off till about 2:30 Central Time. So it was a little confusing. So if some of y'all were looking, you didn't find it, it's because you got to have some patience, but you had to know where to look. So we've got it. Yes, we've got it, folks. So let me just get it set up here, and we're just going to roll right into it, all right? Welcome, CC. All right, let me just get my phone set up so that way chat's all ready to go on here. All right, there we are. I see you all. I see you. All right, cool. All right, so I got chat right up here. All right, so now I can see all those emojis. Spam them if you got them. Spam them if you got them. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been part of this awesome goal, this fundraiser here that was started by our boy Super Roofer, okay? So thank you, Super Roofer. Super Roofer, as a matter of fact, has been responsible for almost all of our new cool tech gadgets here at the NJCourts TV channel. The Super Roofer is the one that starts up these cool dono fundraiser goals, okay? Like we had the gimbal, we had the GoPro, and Super Roofer started us off on this cool drone camera now, all right? That's going to give us a lot of cool B-roll, some really cool, interesting IRL footage as well, okay? I'm excited for that. I'm going to bring it, okay? We're going to use every single one of these things we get to the fullest extent. So we're almost there. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting that goal. And again, I appreciate it, all right? Without your guys' support, we would not have this channel, all right? Again, 100% of your donations go right back to this channel. And as promised, we're going to be kicking off the September road trip court coverage tour. So it's going to be pretty much consisting of court coverage and some fun IRL. And when I say fun, I've got some really exciting, adventurous, scary, first ever done stuff. I'm talking, yes, first ever done. So be on the lookout. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about yet. But as we get closer, which tomorrow's September 1st, all right? We already kick it off, mañana. Now, not the road tour yet. I'll let you know when I'm taking off. Taking off on mobile. Well, did we already nickname it? I don't know if we already nicknamed the van. I think we did have a nickname for the van, but I just had a brain fart. But anyways, you get the idea. We're going to do a tour in the Mobile Studio 1. That's what it was, Mobile Studio 1. All right. So I'll let you know when that's going to kick off. All right. But it is going to be an adventure. And like I said, we are going to take care of business. All right. Business first, fun in between. All right. Looks like we got about 100 people in the chat. Let's get this started. What up, Kelly? What up, Maxed Out? What up, Sister Amber? All right. And if I missed anybody coming in, sneaking in through those courtroom doors, doing that because you're late, it's all right, all right? You're excused for the day. As a matter of fact, let's get this court session started the correct way. Yes, with the new, if you haven't seen it, yes, you are witnessing the newest member of the NJCourts family / gavel family, the 17.2-inch gavel number 2. Wait, number 2 or 3? 1, 2. No, 3. Number 3. So let's get this started right. All rise. All be seated. Welcome to today's court hearing. I don't even think that's how it goes, but fuck it. All right. So let's get this kicked off. Like I said, I'm just going to roll right through it. It's about a 30-minute hearing. So I hope you got your popcorn ready. Hope you got your sodas. I got a nice little tasty, healthy water. See, I'm drinking the waters. I told you I'd be. Now, I haven't switched completely from the sodas yet, but we're getting there. And I hope you already took care of number 1 and number 2, because it's about to start in 5, 4. Not really, but we're going to roll right through it. If you have any questions, I will answer those while we're, playing. I'm going to be watching chat. We'll have a little discussion afterwards. If any of you would love to support the channel through any of the donation venues we have today, I will gladly shout you out. But to be courteous to everybody else, I will do that once the clip is over with. Okay, so if you donate, don't think I didn't see you or was I being rude. I'm just going to wait till the clip's over with, and then we're going to take care of you, okay? So without further ado, let's get this show started. What up, it's me. Yeah, get on with it. Nah, I'm going to make you wait, dude. I'm going to make you wait. You shouldn't have said that. Now we're going to wait an extra 30 seconds because of you. You want to be one of those? Count it down. I think we're at about 20 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. All right, y'all, enjoy. I figured out a new way how to transfer these videos from my phone to my computer. Yes, I should have already figured this out ages ago via USB cable. No more having to send it through the cloud and wait, a day because it's a 30-minute clip. No, just bing, bong, boom. And guess what? 1080 HD, baby. Yeah, 1080. Yeah. So enjoy.
In the Golden Matters. On record in the Golden Matters.
For some of you that are trying to figure out who's this in the courthouse, the people towards the left of me, which is going to consist of 2 lawyers, a female and a male, that is going to be the prosecution. Right now, you have the defense lawyer for Trina Golden standing up at the front. And at the right-hand side, standing kind of, or in front, not standing, sitting in a wheelchair in front of a police officer / bailiff, you have Trina Golden. She'll be in the black and white striped prison outfit. What up, Spirit in the blue sky blue? What up, Xanax God? What up, Mary J? I'm not starting yet. I'm going to give a little explanation. The person to the left-hand side in the greenish, kind of tealish shirt, that is not who you think it is, okay? I had to squint a bit, all right? That individual, I don't know who they are. As a matter of fact, they seem to probably be somebody that is a family member or friend of somebody on the prosecution side, probably the victim of this whole hearing, okay? The individual that passed away because of a drug overdose, all right? This individual, Trina Golden, as a matter of fact, the main reason they are sitting here right now is facing a charge of distribution of drugs leading to death, okay? Allegedly, they were responsible for selling drugs to an individual, a 19-year-old female that overdosed, sadly, and lost her life, okay? Very sad story. And that person, just judging by their body movement, I have a feeling is it, like I said, related to that side of the case. All right. So, yeah, she's looking really rough. What's up? What up, Pretty Andy? What up, Dixie Enormous? What, let's see if I missed anybody else. I think that was, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are coming in, but what up, love? What up, Malika? Sorry, Malfiveshka. I don't know if I said that right. What up, Justin T? All right, let's get this started. You guys ready? Here we go. What up, Bahati? Here we go, folks.
Kansas versus Golden. Namely 15 CR 1993, 20 CR 1869, and 22 CR 3438. All capture state of Kansas versus Golden. As to all 3 cases, the state does appear in the courtroom with Mr. Obermeyer and Ms. Holson. Also present in the courtroom is attorney Mr. Brunkhorst and his client Trina Golden. We have been conducting a preliminary hearing in 22 CR 3438. We are on the state's 3rd witness. The The transcription of the preliminary hearing has been taken by Teresa Castellano that does need to leave at this time being 3 o'clock. We are converting to ER recording. We are in the middle of cross-examination of third witness, Detective Doty, being conducted by Mr. Brunkhorst. Please proceed, Mr. Brunkhorst.
Thank you, Judge. Detective, kind of going back to those phone messages that you just read, there was 2 different sets, a June and then a July set. I want to talk about the June set first. Okay. You have no indication or any evidence other than those text messages that kind of drug transaction actually occurred in June of 2020. Is that fair?
That would be fair.
Okay. And to be fair, absent certain crimes, if you and I are texting back and forth about wanting to buy drugs from you or you from me, and there's no other actual transaction happening, that's not really a crime. Is that fair?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
Judge, this detective's been around for almost 20 years, I thought he said, in drugs. I think he can.
Overruled, if he has an opinion or a comment.
I guess you could look at use of a telecommunication device to facilitate a drug transaction.
But if there is no transaction. Attempted.
What was that last response?
Attempted.
Okay.
Fair. Okay. Going back to the July set of text messages now. Okay. Is it fair to say your evidence of any drug transaction of that would be the PayPal money being given back and forth, and then the pills found in the house?
There's more.
There's more?
That's correct.
Okay. We didn't hear about that on direct, so that's what I'm asking you. There's more to it, is what you're saying?
I mean, I can go into that if you would like.
That's okay. I want to talk about the pills, though. Okay.
Okay.
Were you on scene initially when Officer Marks collected the pills?
The pills were still in place. When we arrived, Malin was on the floor covered. There were the 2 TV trays next to the couch, one of which had the cutting board on it with the pink residue and the straw. And then the pills were on the floor in front of that couch in a Ziploc baggie.
So you were able to observe the pills in a non-packaged form, and actually how they were in the house.
Correct.
I asked this of Officer Marks.
And you've got to be close to the mic, Mr. Brunkhorst. I've got to make sure we capture your.
I agree, Judge.
Sir.
I asked this of Officer Marks. Do you recall if you searched that house in addition to what Officer Marks already did?
We went through the house. Yeah, I observed the prescription medication in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then we were in Madeleine's room.
Did you search any other portions of this house? Do you recall?
I believe we walked through. I wouldn't call it a search.
Okay, but you walked through the house. You didn't go through drawers and those types of things.
No.
Okay.
And you mean you did not go through drawers?
That's correct, except for in Madeleine's room, but then in the rest of the house, we would have walked through. I walked through. I did not search anything outside of Madeleine's room.
Officer Marks collects the pills. They're logged into evidence, and it's eventually sent to the crime lab. Is that correct? Okay. You kind of answered this for me, but I want to hear your answer. Are you the one responsible for determining what types of tests are completed upon those pills?
Responsible, you basically, there's a form that you fill out asking for the crime lab to conduct testing on those.
On those pills?
Correct.
Okay. Did you fill out that form?
I don't think so.
Who did?
I don't know.
Are you
It has to be filled out though, or else our property will not take it to the lab without that form.
And that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to figure out. I'm assuming you're the lead detective of this case. Is that
Correct?
Right. So did you send or did you request testing by the lab? Was it Don Snyder with property? Was it Officer Marks?
I don't know who it was. Typically, if I collect the evidence, I request it.
Right. But still, you have the ability to request for testing to be done on anything, your investigation. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you recall if you requested the crime lab to do any testing on these pills?
Not that I recall.
Okay. No DNA testing, fingerprints on the baggie, nothing.
No.
as far as you know, no additional testing has been done to this package of pills other than determining what types of drugs they are. Is that fair?
That's all I'm aware of.
Okay. Judge, I have nothing further.
Redirect.
Nothing based on that, Your Honor.
The court does have a couple of questions for Detective Doty. Detective Doty, just to follow up on a question that was asked by Mr. Brunkhorst on cross-examination, when is it that you make a determination that you do want to have fingerprint or DNA testing done on an item that was submitted to the crime lab?
That could be done at any time.
And sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. I didn't know if there was factors that contributed to your decision to ask for that additional testing.
No.
Any additional follow-up either party has related to the court's inquiry?
No, Judge.
No, Judge, I don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Additional evidence, Mr. Omar.
Judge, the last thing I would move to introduce is the certified copy of the autopsy report of Madeline Miller, marked States Exhibit 1, and noting that that indicates the cause of death is oxycodone intoxication, manner of death undetermined.
Any objection pursuant to statute for the admission of States 1?
For purposes of today's hearing, no, Judge.
States 1 shall be received pursuant to statute. Any additional evidence, Mr. Obermeyer?
No, Your Honor, the state rests.
If the state wouldn't mind providing those admitted exhibits. Evidence for prelim, Mr. Brunkhorst. Did the parties want to make any argument related to the proposed amended complaint?
Judge, I'll be rather brief. Sorry, I'm sitting.
Oh, yeah, be close to the mic and straight onto the mic.
As in regards to
Please.
count 3, I think we just heard from Detective Doty that there's no additional evidence of a purported felony or drug transaction that occurred in June of 2020, other than messages going back and forth. I was submitted to the court that even if 2 consenting adults, there's certain crimes where it's illegal, but there's certain, if we're just talking about drug transactions and there's no actual act upon that, then there's not sufficient evidence to bind over on count 3. As in regards to count 1, I've explained this to my client that it's a very low standard. All reasonable inferences are given to the state. But even with that, I think you still have to have a causation requirement. There's information that Ms. Golden may have provided Ms. Miller some narcotics. However, I think there's got to be a connection between any narcotics purportedly given by Ms. Golden to Ms. Miller and the actual ones that were actually taken by Ms. Miller. We heard evidence that no one physically observed her take those pills. We do have a coroner's report, but it doesn't indicate that the oxy that Ms. Miller may have overdosed on came from Ms. Golden. So I think there has to be some kind of connection there. But I've explained to my client that that's more of an argument more for a trier of fact, specifically a jury trial. And today's standard is super low, and likely the state will get past that. But there still needs to be some kind of connection between the drugs that Ms. Miller overdosed on and any reported drugs that Ms. Golden may have gave her, Judge.
Mr. Obermeyer, your response. I know states 2, the state did introduce some text exchanges on the date of June 11th, 2020, and then additional text exchanges on July 10th, 2020. But go ahead and speak to all of that, including your responses to states count 3.
Yes, Judge, I actually have I took those exhibits actually.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
And Judge, I believe it's on entry 43. I turned to the page, it's there. As it relates to the June transaction, I think it's sort of a corpus delicti argument that defense counsel is making.
43 is July 10th.
Yes, that is a.
I think the argument is to the June 11th, 2020, count 3.
Yes, Judge, and I'm sorry, entry 46 from that, and I understand what defense counsel's making sort of corpus delicti argument. Certainly those are text messages on the June 10th through 12th, which indicated drug transaction. But what that entry 46 does, it confirms that a transaction actually took place.
Are we speaking about July 10th? The 46 is July 10th.
Yes, Judge. And what
You're going to tie this into June 11th.
Yes, that is
Okay.
a text message from Trina Golden to Maddie's phone. What she's talking about, she's going to pick up pills after her appointment. And let me see, she says, but they're all spoken for the minute I get them. So if you send the money to me now, I'll bring them to you right after my appointment, like I did last time. So it's clearly referencing that a transaction did take place. So that is even more to the point that a drug transaction did take place back in that June 10th through 12th time range based on those text messages. In all other respects, I would ask the court to apply the standard and bind the defendant over as charged, as well as on the additional counts of use of the communication facility.
And just if I briefly heard on that, I don't recall, and I may be misspoken, but I don't recall evidence ever coming out in today's preliminary hearing of any phone numbers attached to Ms. Golden. If I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong about that, but I don't recall hearing Ms. Golden has the number 123-456 associated with her name, and we know this because of X. We don't have that. That's easy information they could have brought to this court. They chose not to. Making the assumption that that's her phone number based upon the contact information in someone else's phone is a little presumptuous, Judge. I know it's a low standard, but you have to have some evidence before you to say, hey, that's actually a phone number of Ms. Golden. Someone is going to have a record of that. They chose not to present that. I think that's kind of fatal to counts 2 and 3 if they don't have that information in front of you, Judge.
Mr. Omar.
Judge, again, we were at the probable cause standard, and not only did Detective Doty, I did ask him, was that later identified to Trina Golden, and he said yes, and he didn't get into specifics, but that's not necessarily required at this hearing. The court will also recall Ms. Miller's testimony that she identified the defendant as one of Madeline's drug dealers. Certainly having one's name, Trina Golden, in the phone of the decedent, that indicates that she is indeed the person that we're talking about today.
Anything further, Mr. Brunkhorst?
No, Judge.
The court appreciates all argument of Mr. Brunkhorst, although as Mr. Brunkhorst has wisely advised his client, today's standard is that of probable cause with the court to hold the evidence in the light most favorable to the state in reviewing State's Exhibit 2, which is a series of text messages between Trina Golden, which was, the court recalls Detective Doty's testimony to be that was Trina Golden ID'd her. Obviously, there would be an expectation that more extensive evidence related to that would be admitted for a beyond the reasonable doubt standard, but for purposes of probable cause, as Mr. Obermeyer has directed the court's attention to in States 2, that there is the line 46 of the text messages from Trina Golden to Madeline Miller. There is ties into, like we did last time on the drug transaction. The last time the evidence before the court in States 2 is that occurs on or about June 11th, 2020. In the same manner, it occurred on July 10th, 2020. The court therefore does find that probable cause has been established as proposed in the amended complaint to bind over Ms. Golden on the defendant on count 1, count 2, and count 3, finding that probable cause has been demonstrated for purposes of today, that these crimes were committed and that Trina Golden was the individual that committed them. For purposes of arraignment, Mr. Brunkhorst, on that 3-count amended complaint, do you and your client acknowledge receive the complaint and waive a formal reading?
Judge, I acknowledge to see the complaint, waive its formal reading at this time, and please not guilty.
not guilty pleas shall be entered on behalf of Ms. Golden, and the acknowledgement of arraignment on the amended complaint with the bind over having occurred. The court intends to release all the admitted exhibits to the state. How would you like to proceed, Mr. Bronkhorst?
Judge, two things. One, I have a bond motion. Two, indicated before we had the preliminary hearing, a substantial amount of additional discovery was given yesterday. I'm asking to set it for a scheduling. I have not talked to my client about speedy trial, but I will inform her that while she has a constitutional right to speedy trial essentially tolled in Kansas still, and we'd obviously be taking the time as we're not setting it for trial. But I'm asking to set it for scheduling, maybe 45 days out.
Would it be just in an effort to identify a date, and we'll hear the bond motion in a moment. And I know Mr. Bronkhorst and the state do have busy calendars. Do you want us to look at a January or February or March jury trial date? Or you would prefer to simply have a scheduling docket to give you an opportunity to review all the discovery in this case? Sounds like there's an extensive amount of text messages and whatnot from that you may want to examine. We'll proceed in whatever way you do. Do you want to first be heard on your bond motion and then make that determination?
The bond motion first.
Okay.
I can tell the court that Ms. Golden is requesting for a bond reduction. She informs me that she can post, and I know she has 3 cases, so there's a lot of bonds there, but she can post a $25,000 cash surety bond. She is asking to go be placed at problem solving bed. I believe she didn't have a lot of local ties here. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm older to live
Okay.
here.
Yeah, so she's asking for it. I know it's a substantial reduction, but she's asking for a $25,000 total bond, Judge. I'm looking at her other cases.
I'll be on.
She's also willing to go on either GPS monitoring or house arrest, Judge. I know she has indicated to me that she does have some health issues that are not fully being taken care of at the jail. She has some specialists that she was seeing previously before being arrested. And obviously those are does not have the ability to do so while she's in jail, Judge. But in looking at her 3 bonds, excuse me, his total amount about $120,000 total, Judge. I know it's a substantial reduction, but she is willing with GPS monitoring as well as going through problem solving.
Mr. Obermeyer. Ms. Olson.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, the state is absolutely opposed to any reduction on any of the cases, especially the case that we had the preliminary hearing on here today, Judge. The bond is more than appropriate in that case as it is currently set. Madeline Miller was only 19 at the time and was extremely vulnerable, as the state's evidence shows and will continue to show as this case moves forward. Trina Golden preyed on that. And because of that, she needs to be held for her actions, and the bond represents that. Judge, further, not only do we have the current case, which in and of itself should not be reduced, but we have 2 other cases where she skipped out, left town, didn't care about the warrants being out for her arrest on those. As such, she is a flight risk, as she has shown in the past. She is presumptive prison in this case, and on her other cases, the state will be requesting prison as well. And for those reasons, Judge, and given the nature and the seriousness of the allegations, the state is requesting that all bond modifications be denied.
Judge, her other cases are misdemeanor probation violations. She can't go to prison there. But I do agree that there has been some time and lapses of whenever she was out on probation, Judge.
The court's just examining the original record in 15 CR 1993 and reading the affidavit in that case. It does look like The original charges in that case, dated back with allegations back in January of 2015 involved drug felonies using a communication facility. Now, it also looks like those were, the plea agreement with Miss Golden back in (2016). The state did file an amended complaint, dismissed what in essence are basically drug deals using some type of a communication device, and just there was a plea to interference with a law enforcement officer. I know that was not Ms. Olson or Mr. O'Brien, that was not your case back in 2015. That was Mr. Covington. I don't know if you have any information. The court's just trying to establish what was happening with Ms. Golden back in 2015 that caused those original charges, similar to what we have with allegations dated back here 5 years later in 2020. Do you know anything about any of those details?
Judge, I do not. I can look into it, but we do not have any information regarding that case.
And it looks like in that case, a very old case, there was a motion to revoke probation filed back in 2017, missing appointments with probation, and probation revoked, reinstated, motion to revoke probation again, filed back in 2018 in that case. And then another motion to revoke probation filed back in that case in 2021. Allegations involving failing to report back in 2021, failing to drop drug screens, the very basic components of that probation in 15 CR 1993. As to that case, the court finds the bond set is appropriate and denies a bond modification in that matter. In 22 CR 3438, a $100,000 bond based on the evidence the court has received and the arguments of Ms. Olson to ensure community safety. Bond as set in that matter is appropriate. Then in remaining case 20 CR 1869. Also with original allegations of possession of amphetamines, it was reduced. That count was dismissed. Plea to simple marijuana possession. The court agrees with the state that to ensure community safety, the bond as set in that matter is appropriate as well, and the court's not denying any bond modification in all three matters. Given that based on what you understand, Mr. Buncourt's consulting with your client that she will not be able to post those bonds and may remain in custody, do we want to look at identifying a trial date now, just to have that time reserved and obviously for everyone's calendar, and I know your busy calendar, or do you still just want a scheduling docket? We'll do how you and your client want to proceed on that piece. I'll turn off the mics. Let me know when to turn it back on.
Couple things. One, if we set it for trial, I already know with my calendar, it's probably going to be into January or February. So I would suggest, let's go ahead and reserve a date. I can tell the court though that when Ms. Sokoloff was on this case previously, I know the state had given her a plea offer. I have not received a plea offer. I know the parties had a mediation scheduled and then got canceled. So we haven't explored that, but I might as well, if we're going to set a date, February 2024, let's go ahead and get it now. And then I'll ask for a scheduling docket like 6 weeks from now, so we can keep the case moving if that's possible, Judge. So that makes sense.
Absolutely. Do you want to entertain judicial mediation? I know that was previously one of the directions the case was moving. There was a breakdown in communication between Ms. Golden and Ms. Sokoloff. It could be that you all.
Right, Judge. And what I can tell the court is I have not personally been given a plea offer from the state. So if I get that, I can talk to my client about that. We may still be able to pursue mediation, but if we are going to be locking in a trial date and we're already looking at 2024, I'd ask you to go ahead and set that now. We'll work on getting the case resolved between now and then, but that's why I want the scheduling doc about 6 weeks out.
Well, and I want to be clear too, if you want us to look at a November or December jury trial date, we will do that, given that Ms. Golden will likely remain in custody. If after consulting with your client and ensuring due diligence and examination of all the evidence in this case, possibility of exploring negotiations and judicial mediation, the defense is asking for a solid date in January or February, the court will accommodate. I just want the record to be clear as it relates to speedy trial, constitutional speedy trial considerations.
Right, Judge. And I can tell the court that I would not be available because I already have cases set in November and December. I already have one set at the end of January. And I would not be available until probably January 2024 if we were setting for trial today for the record purposes. But we will work out any kind of plea negotiation / mediation between now and that next trial date. But I would not be available for a trial probably until early January or February.
Okay. And obviously, Ms. Golden is going to want to make sure that you're adequately prepared and obviously wanting to explore all those other options of working the case out, ensuring that if you do end up in trial, you've at least explored all those things. And so does Ms. Golden understand as it relates to constitutional speedy trial that you're asking to waive that and look at it November, no, I'm sorry, a February 2024 jury trial date?
Yes, I understand, sorry.
Okay. And Ms. Golden, you understand, and you're ensuring you want to give adequate time for all those things to be accomplished, and you're looking, but to walk out of here with a solid jury trial date on everyone's calendar, that we look at February of 2024, and you're waiving any constitutional speedy trial until that date. Maybe you can speak up just a little, you're soft-spoken in that.
I understand.
Okay, and you're you're understanding all that, you're wanting a February 2024 jury trial.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Golden. Any objection by the state to the request to continue this matter for jury trial to February 2024 for the reasons that Mr. Brunkhorst has described?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. The court will grant the defense continuance, finding first that Ms. Golden knows and appreciates as waiving any constitutional speedy trial considerations for all the reasons that have been described by Mr. Brunkhorst, identifying a solid jury trial date in February 2024 on
October 11th at 9 for scheduling. Yes, we can.
Okay, you do want an in-person scheduling or Zoom, or what do you want?
We can just do it on Zoom. I just don't want
To languish without something gets set. Do you want to walk out of here with a motion date? Or you first need to figure out what that is?
Yes, Judge. Obviously, we have to get the transcript. So let's just do it October 11th at 9. I can do that. And then we'll get a February jury trial date, and then we'll figure out any other dates in between that.
Okay. We do have a jury panel assigned to us the week of February 5th, 2024. Does that work for your calendar, Mr. Brunkhorst? Does that put you too close to, you indicated you had another trial set in late January?
Let me double check that one, Judge.
We also have a jury week or a jury panel assigned to us the week of February 26th.
So I'm in a week-long trial at the end of January that's supposed to go until February 2nd in Division 18. You said February 5th?
Yes, that would put you up, and that jury trial would, it sounds like that would end,
What was that February 24th date?
we've got for February 5th or February 26th.
Set that February 26th.
Okay. How many days? A
Judge.
full week?
Yeah, to be on the safe side, I think we'll get done in 3 or 4, but we'll set for the whole week.
Mr. Bronkhorst, does that sound
That's fine,
adequate
Judge.
as well? Okay. Wednesday, can we do that? Yeah.
Wednesday. The 21st at 3.
February 21st at 3 o'clock for pretrial. Does that work? Okay. Mr. Obermeyer and Ms. Olson, I know you have the benefit of some of your witnesses in the courtroom from the preliminary hearing. Does February 26, 2024 for jury trial work for the state?
It does, Your Honor.
The court then, Ms. Golden is ordering you, and what do you want to do with the PVs? Do you want those to just run with?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Any objection to that approach?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Golden, the court's wanting you to appear in person at the Johnson County Courthouse for the first day of jury trial on Monday, February 26, 2024 at 8:30. The court is also ordering you to appear in person for the pretrial conference in that matter on February 21st, 2024 at 3 o'clock. That's a pretrial conference related to the jury trial. The time from today's date until February 26, 2024 shall be assessed to the defense. The court, though, is also ordering you to appear on Zoom on October 11th, 2023 at 9 o'clock. That will be for scheduling to give Mr. Bronkhorst an opportunity to request transcripts and understand how he wants to proceed on all matters, and also grant that the pending misdemeanor probation revocations run along with the felony matter set for scheduling on October 11th, 2023 at 9 o'clock. Anything further for the record?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Seeing nothing further, the matter is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Sorry for the delay to the parties on, I believe, Ms. Ford, you're here on Stewart, is that correct?
All righty, folks. You heard it in the flesh. Well, kind of. Technically, you guys were on the other end of a computer, or smartphone, or tablet, or TV, or whatever you may be viewing this on. But that's as real as it gets right there. Audio and video, visual and you can hear. As you saw, not much action, it's just a kind of a small courtroom. For some of you guys that didn't know where Miss Trina was sat at, she was the individual that was in the wheelchair towards the right-hand corner. She was in the striped jail suit. The prosecutor was the other complete opposite side where you had the female and male lawyers. And then, of course, her defense lawyer was the male lawyer that was just by himself. A lot of you, I noticed, were saying, asking about the lawyer and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, based on what I've read on the docket notes, I believe this is the first court hearing that this new lawyer has actually represented Trina in. As a matter of fact, that they mentioned the previous lawyer's last name, which was Sokolow, something like that. So if I'm not mistaken, I think she's already had, this is the second lawyer that she's had for this trial, and that this would have been his essentially first appearance with her as her lawyer. Now, dates. Some of you that didn't catch the dates at the end, let me go over those with you. Okay. Starting kind of in a timeline. The first date you had was going to be, let's see here, October 11th of this year. That is going to be at 9 a.m. And that is going to be a Zoom hearing for Trina. She's just going to be attending that through a Zoom conference hearing at the prison. She'll be at the prison. They've got a separate room she goes to, and that's where she attends the Zoom hearing. Unless she bonds out. She can bond out. But as some of you may have heard, and if you've been following this case from the beginning with us here at the NJCourts TV channel, I believe her bond is for the most serious. She has 3 charges, okay? The first charge is going to be for the distribution of drugs with leading to death. That's the most serious charge out of the 3. That's a felony, of course. The other 2 are essentially, if you heard the judge, she said PVs, that's parole violations, okay? And it sounds like they're going to be packaging all that together. Instead of making separate dates for everything, they're just going to hear everything together. And that's kind of what I heard towards the end. Now, they're going to be discussing this. They're essentially on the October 11th hearing. That's just going to be a scheduling hearing, okay? Just kind of like the judge discussed, or excuse me, was it the judge? Yeah, the judge was explaining what goes on. It's just an opportunity essentially for Trina's lawyer to, essentially, pretty much confirm all the dates they've discussed. If there's any other motions that need to be put in place, maybe possibly for a continuance, who knows, okay? That would be done at that time. The most important dates are going to be coming up next year, okay? So as you heard, because I saw a lot of you in chat go, damn, yes. Trina is pretty much scheduled for her jury trial. Now, if you heard, she went ahead and pled not guilty. So she went ahead and entered a plea of not guilty. So they went ahead and set a jury trial, and that is going to be set for the week of February 21st, essentially through the 26th. Now, that's not saying that the trial is going to go between those dates. It just means February 21st is what they've scheduled as the pre-trial conference. And then February 26th is when they have the actual jury trial scheduled, and that will be at 8:30 a.m. February 26th, Monday, 2024. So, unless Trina Golden is to be bailed out, she is to remain in incarceration, and she's already been in jail for quite some time now. I think some people in chat were even saying almost about a year. I'd have to go back into the records to give you the exact date when she was, essentially booked into jail. Because for some of you that may have just jumped in on this case now, she was essentially extradited from the state of California to the state of Kansas, where she's now facing these charges. Essentially, she was, I guess we'll say allegedly, she was possibly running away from these, charges and other things. That's why she has the other violations. She had some other things going on that she's violated. I think either her parole or essentially didn't do what her probation was supposed to be. And I'll get you more details. We've already discussed that, but we haven't gone into the nitty-gritty details of a lot of things. So now that we're, coming in towards the final run of, what this hearing is going to be about, we're definitely going to get, I'm going to pull as much paperwork as I can through FOIA requests. And that way we've got as much, information as the public can get at this moment prior to the next hearing, okay? Today was just about playing you guys the video that I had in hand. For some of you that might be wondering or asking, that was obviously not a live feed. That was live. I watched that live about an hour and a half ago, okay? So that was recorded from a live feed from the courtroom about an hour and a half ago. I went ahead and just uploaded it, edited it out a bit. All I did was just cut some of the black screen out, so that way you had a better, nice, closer view. Cleared out the sound a bit or amplified it, and then there you go. You got the 30-minute version that you saw from start to finish. So, yes. Now, as far as attending the next hearing, now that is quite some time away, but I will tell you, I will be putting a request to actually be part of the hearing if I can. Meaning, if I can be in that courtroom recording media, then I will. If not, I will still be there to provide any coverage that I can outside in any of the public areas. And then, of course, because as a member of the public, I'll be allowed to sit down in the courtroom, and I can also, bring my notepad here and jot down all my notes, okay, and essentially provide a transcript from you all, or excuse me, for you all, once I'm able to get out on a little break or get out once the hearing's finished, okay? So either or, I will be there for that next hearing. I will tell you that. I will promise you that. As long as I'm still alive, I'm not 6 feet underground, as they say, or is it 8 feet? I don't care. I will be there for that hearing, okay? So count on it, probably staying February 21st through the 26th, because both of those are going to be in person, meaning she's got to be there. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? I'm not worried about that piece of shit. when I say if I might be 6 feet under, that's in case I, eat a nasty burrito and get some type of like stomach disease that just puts me down. I ain't worried about no shitheads. Anyways, I saw a lot of people in the comment sections. I learned a little bit, learned a little info from y'all. So again, I appreciate you, chat. I'm watching, okay? And thank you guys for being here. Let's see here. Schedule. What do we got coming up? Well, like I said earlier, we've got the road trip coming up soon. And when I say road trip, that's going to be a court coverage road trip. So a lot of this road trip is going to include some court coverage. We're going to do some fun IRL stuff. It's going to be a blast. Trust me. I've got some big stuff planned. I'm talking, like I said, first of its kind, like World Guinness Book of Records shit. Yes. So it's going to be an exciting September for the NJCourts channel. Trust me on that. Okay. What up, SoCal? Good to see you. Did you just sneak in through those doors as everybody was leaving the courtroom, trying to act like nobody saw you? Yeah, I saw you. No, I'm just kidding, my friend. I hope you're doing well. But what up, Elizabeth in the garden? Hey, thank you, Candy Cane. I appreciate it. What up, Lolly? Hey, you're welcome. What up, Sunshiny? What up, Missy Mo? What up, Viral BTW? Yeah, it's kind of weird as well. I agree with you. And you know what? There's a lot of backstory to that, Viral. And I'm still looking into that. Like I said, a lot of alleged stuff, and I'm not going to put out a lot of, stuff that I can't verify. But I'll tell you what. As a matter of fact, for a second, I had to squint because I almost thought that was Beck sitting down there, because at first I was watching this on my phone and it was like the little mode, little view mode. And I was like, what? And then I was, I put it up on my laptop and then I was like, oh, no, that's not her. But I was surprised. I really thought that Beck or Blade would have maybe possibly be there in attendance. Who knows? Maybe they were waiting out in the lobby. Allegedly, I'm not saying anything at all. But, there's been a lot of people kind of tying in some of that story into this story. And again, a lot of it's just, hearsay and that say, but hey, look where we're at now with this individual, right? All right. Well, yes, a lot of you got it figured out. I'm seeing it in the comments. Hobby Hater, thank you so much. Hobby Hater with the $20 super chat. Oh, I was wondering if I was going to get to use this today. And yes, I do. Hobby Hater says, thanks for the coverage, NJCourts. That was cool. Looking forward to February 2024. Me too, Hobby Hater. And thank you so much for your support, Hobby Hater. Much appreciated, my friend. End down. We just, NJ down now. NJ down. We've got an N down and a J down. But, man, I put some new stickers. I even super glued them, thinking they would stay on. I'm going to have to tattoo that on here. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to go to a tattoo shop and see if they can just tattoo NJ on here. Anyways, thank you so much for your support, Hobby Hater. I much appreciate it. And you know what? 2024 for the Trina coverage, but we've got some other court coverage coming up September 2023. Okay, September 11th, as a matter of fact. Coming up soon. We're going to leave it a surprise. I'm going to take my advice from my buddy Soup Roofer. I'm going to keep it hush-hush. Now, maybe like the day of, maybe the week of, I might tell y'all, but maybe I just might wait till the morning of. But it's coming, all right? And a lot of cool IRL in between, all right, folks? So stay tuned. All right, y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow is Friday, TGIF. Yes, already. And as a matter of fact, it's the start of Labor Day weekend. Now, I got something planned. Might be a members only. Just saying, might be a members only. So for my jury members, you guys have something to look forward to. Everybody else, well, if you want to check it out, you might want to become a jury member. Now, I'm not trying to sell it. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. And maybe, you know what, we might just keep it just everybody's welcome. You know, it is Labor Day. Might as well make it fun for everybody. But I'll still have a pre-party. If I do that, I'll still have a pre-party for jury members only. All right. So look out, my jury members, for your invitation to a pre-party, or maybe just the whole party itself. I'm still figuring it out. But we're definitely going to do something fun, especially for some of y'all that may just be kicking back and relaxing for the Labor Day weekend. You can come join me and have some fun, all right? Take you to something fun, all right? I promise. But then next week, we start, all right? We start the court coverage road trip, all right? So look forward to that. All right, y'all. And if I don't see you from now till then, be careful, all right? A lot of crazies out there for Labor Day weekend. Don't drink and drive. Get a Lyft, get an Uber, be smart. If you're going into the lake, please be careful out there, okay? Got a lot of jet skiers out there not paying attention, a lot of boaters that not paying attention, a lot of people just walking around not paying attention, okay? So, as I always said, head on a swivel, watch your six, okay? And we shall see you on the next episode of the NJCourts court coverage. Or it might just be an NJCourts IRL special, all right? Something fun and exciting. Labor Day weekend, all right? Now, but if there any other breaking news comes out, of course, I will break it for you, as you always know. So keep those notifications on. And if you haven't already, smash that like button if you enjoyed today's coverage. If it's not too late, please. I'd appreciate it. Oh, man, I love you guys. You guys take care. Did we get a new jury member? I'm sorry. Did I miss one? Oh, hey, hold on. I did. I apologize. Hold on here. Let's see. I do. SoCal, thank you so much. SoCal just gifted 5 new members. So I want to say thank you so much, SoCal, and welcome to our 5 new members. SoCal, you get the double fist of the hammer. Thank you. And we didn't bust it. Indestructible. Yes, it is. Hey, I think we've got a winner chicken dinner, baby. Oh, now we've got to figure out the logo a little bit better, but so SoCal, thank you again so much, and welcome to all my new members of the jury. And just in time, because you're gonna get to hang out at a pre-party this weekend, all right? It's gonna be fun. Yeah. You want to do some crab dancing? Ooh, 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 ooh. Some squirrel jumps? Who knows? You know how it goes. All right, you guys. You have a great rest of your day. All right, my friends. And we'll see you on the next show. Like I said, it's coming up shortly. It's going to be this weekend. I think what I was going to do, it's just going to be like a little half-day thing, okay? I've got still some family things I'm taking care of. Next week, it's on like Donkey Kong, okay? But we're still going to have some fun this weekend, okay? So I'll let you know in advance. I'll promise I'll give you a notification. But it's going to be either Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not even going to be tomorrow. It'll be either Saturday or Sunday, all right? I'll just tell you that. So Saturday or Sunday, we're going to have something special for the Labor Day weekend, a fun IRL for everybody, and we'll have a pre-party for my members of the jury. And then we will start, yes, next week, the court coverage tour, my friends, okay? Hasta la vista, baby! And as always, NJCourts is officially out of here. And we'll see you on Saturday. Oh, Sunday.